a good replay code with dive, and problem is I couldn't find one that is actually like where I'm playing like decent, not like total garbage. I want to give you something that's kind of a fair, normal game for me. So I have one. I don't remember if it's against dive. I do remember it's against like it's in uh, it's Vivasa, whatever the name of that thing is. Um,
You mean the map, Survasa?
yeah, the map. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
But
get
I
it.
don't think it was against dive. It wasn't dive, I think. But this one that I just sent you is the replay code I was thinking of. The other one is yeah, kind of garbage, I think. I was thinking, yeah, I mean, the one thing since we spoke that I've focused on the most is not like in the poke phase, do whatever you want, but not in the but keep the cooldowns for when the fight actually starts. So that's the main thing that I was focusing on when I was playing.
Nice, nice. So that was successful. You
And the long
differentiating.
range thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, successful. I'm not winning games, but I I think on a couple of games I did feel like I was playing better and doing better thanks to this advice.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
general, my I'm just trying to find if there's a way to get more value, and this is where I'm struggling with. I mean, I'm wondering
Mm-hmm.
again what I can do more. I mean, that's the one I gave you now is a loss, so maybe we can take a look at that.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, at the end on your level, really, there are just a lot of potential things you can polish, all these micros. There's no like one big single thing, I guess, which will help you to climb instantly, right? It's just kind of one thing at a time. You fix this, you fix that, you maybe you fix the poke phase versus brawl, understanding that maybe you also fix the cooldowns. That is something we talked about before, just a little bit more precise nade usage. Maybe it's the seep dart, yeah, just
Yeah.
stuff like that and positioning as well. But yeah, sure, we can take a look. So you've been focusing mostly on poke phase, brawl phase. Is there anything? What's been difficult though? What do you think you need to pay attention to? Well, besides playing versus the dive, what is complicated?
I mean, the one thing that there are two things that I struggle with, or that I think I can really improve. One is playing against dive, positioning and stuff, and the second thing is getting aggressive nades in. I mean, I'm because I'm playing a bit further away than because I'm scared of dying.
Hmm.
I'm I'm not finding windows to to get a good nade in like I used to before they reworked everybody kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So is that still the case in this game here?
The second part, yes. I don't think they're playing. I don't think they're playing dive in this one. So it's the second thing.
Yeah. Okay. So do you wanna look at the second part here then, or starting with
No,
uh,
no. I mean, we can look at.
the entire one?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
It's
Let's see. You got some familiar names there. Nice. You're playing on Europe, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there are see
This is
people.
a
I
Master
guess.
Five or Diamond. No,
Yeah.
Diamond One game.
Right.
Diamond One game.
There's some familiar nicknames there. I get. I see. Okay. Can you see my stream just fine as well?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So. Starting with taking the right side, you have the Rhine to support most of the time. Zenyatta's attention mostly is gonna be on Genji Tracer. Similarly pressure before the fight if possible, that's fine. Okay. So at this point it's kind of complicated, right? There's a lot of attention on
Yeah,
the Rhine.
I don't
Hmm.
like to stay here because I feel like it's too open. I like to play a little bit left, bottom left, or go to the point. If like I saw the Rhine, I saw everybody going in. I'm like, let me try to go bottom left of the stairs And if I get enough space, I go on to the point on the left.
Sure, sure, sure. But we currently just don't have any time to do any other rotation, it seems like, right? Because there's a lot of attention. Well, your Rhine is being really active.
My run shifted in, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And there's also other angles, like your Genji, Tracer, they being active as well, so we don't have as much time. So let's maybe think, how
Yeah.
can we increase the value while using this position still? Is there anything you can do? What I see here is just the first part is, are we able to apply enough pressure? Are we positioned to do that? And the second is, do you have enough cover? Do you have enough safety? I guess. So yeah, what do you think? The first part, do you have enough possibilities to apply pressure from where you are?
Uh, yes, I do. I mean, if I not here, but if I go to where the door frame is,
Yes, door frame. Yeah, so
yeah.
it's kind of go to the left, but see, this
But it's
is
too, but
yeah,
it's too out in the open for me. I don't like it. I don't like this position when I'm
right.
playing this map.
Y- Yeah, okay, sure, but since there's no other option, so we want to what? We want to have safety, but also we want to have the possibilities to apply pressure from here. We cannot see anybody besides your team. Well, this is okay for a short period of time, maybe while rotating, but even taking your time here while you scoped in, where we could be doing something else, such as shooting this echo, such as shooting even this just a little bit, is better.
The fuck is happening to the eyes on that queen?
The ice, it's April Fools. It's the 1st of April.
Ah, we're supposed to say first of April.
Yeah, exactly. They all get this
True,
those
true.
weird eyes now.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
googly eyes. Yeah.
yeah. So see, my problem is you need to apply active pressure to the most active angle of the map, and at the same time support the most active angle. The first is how do I apply pressure. So you need to get in a position. Even from here, being scoped in is limiting yourself. Well, it's
Mm.
okay, you're supporting the right, but we have to see it's constantly kind of sneaking a little bit of value and instantly moving to here. So you see an echo. Well, I technically, you can see Nako right there. You're not shooting her, but still see what I mean here. Get the best position possible. How do you use that then? Well, if it's too much open, then in this case, you lean towards the left wall? What do you think? If possible, yeah, maybe later. I don't know. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe I'm wrong about how I perceive this point, but like this here, this whole area here, I know that my Zen is probably gonna stay here because also he has the mini he's gonna try to want.
Right.
So I don't want to be with my Zen
All
necessarily
the
at the
time,
same.
sure. Long term.
So
Mhm.
so yeah, and what I and once the enemy knows I'm here, I'm basically I can't poke anymore. That's what I find really annoying about this point. But maybe I'm playing it wrong. I mean, there are areas to hide. There's the left area and there's
Right.
the right area, right?
Right. Exactly.
So
Hmm.
I could technically stay here. I just have,
Yes.
yeah. Is this a good like what is the optimal thing here? To stay here or to actually go down?
This is so going down, by going down you mean kind of going
Here,
towards here.
exactly.
Yeah,
Where the Genji is. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Lawrence it can work, maybe. However, well, I have some problems with usually there's this type of sightlines where you don't have as much of a longer range options anymore. Here you have more shorter sightlines. See, you kind of, let's say you're on the bottom. Well, you have some potential to shoot somebody in the high ground, but let's say people on the bottom, you can see those. Where here, you can see almost everything. You can see what's going on there, you can see what's going on here, and you also have piece of cover. So it's the thing about safety. You have HP back, that's one. Second, you have a wall to hide. How we can use walls? Well, if we peek in this angle here, we can use this wall to our advantage and peek this way. This is what matters to you. It's not that this position feels kind of awkward. Well, it might feel awkward if they get closer to you, yeah. But initially, you have the long range, you have HP pack, you have the wall where you can limit amount of angles you deal with. So it's a good position fundamentally. Like
Okay.
there's always kind of those things to look at, but The problem is here we don't have instant line of sight, I guess.
No,
On
here I
yeah,
only paused because I'm trying to save, like I'm trying to heal the tracer actually in the beginning.
right, right. But do you see why it's more
Y
important to apply pressure on the enemy? Besides,
yeah, okay.
right.
So
Okay.
so
Mhm.
instead of zooming in, I should have just tried to shoot while I'm moving without the either quick scoping or just shooting
I guess quick scoping is fine.
unscoped.
Quick scoping is
Okay.
fine. Quick scoping can work in this case. Your attention should go towards here first,
Yeah.
instantly. So
Okay.
this is all about just kind of sneaking this first amount of value. But it's always set up, apply pressure. Yeah, this is our second step. So yeah, with setup, let's maintain it this way. I'm gonna write it down like you want to have line of sight on enemy plus your team. Well, that's just pretty basic things, but it's always good to check mark this, see if you have this at the start of the fight, and ideally, when you're shutting down the enemy, you want to shut down the most aggressive angle. You kind of shoot who is more active. So even here, if we're paying attention to Tracy, it's not as important because this Echo is more dangerous. Potentially, she's up on the high ground, she can do quite a lot. Well, actually, to
Okay.
you later as well. Maybe if she will have
Yeah, yeah.
enough resources, she can get to you. So it might complicate things. And that's why this Ryan is actually might take a lot of damage in the first place because all these angles might surround him. Well, of course, he's kind of a little
I
bit
mean, he's in the
too
middle. I
aggressive.
mean,
Yeah, of
he's
course.
got zero
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 support.
fear. This guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is where you also might be, if you have the best position possible to make to make it easy for you to do things. You don't have to drop either. It's just you have perfect line of sight. You have the
Yeah,
wall. You
yeah,
have HP
yeah.
back. It's fine. Later maybe you can position more aggressively towards here. I think if you don't want to stack on Zen. This is not necessary to do that, as you
Mm.
mentioned. Then yeah. Just kind of this map layout at the start, it's not allowing you to unstuck within and have decent long-range sightline. This is really the short-range kind of limited space you have a lot of times. With Zana at least, it's just complicated. Okay, we got here, okay. So it's just, okay, this is fine, I guess. If you can, again, do quickscope, move, and move to the wall. So again, a little bit faster. Quickscope
Mm.
on the Genji, move here. Instantly, you have the shot on this guy's there. So he's just opening up the sight line. He's slightly, always moving to there, prioritizing that, yeah? And there's
Mm.
no
Mm.
need to, like, lean towards safety. You can kind of name it. Do you lean towards the safety or do you lean towards more aggro play, yeah? Usually at the start of the fight, you want to lean towards seeing what he can do in terms of the
Mm.
aggression, I guess.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. This is what seems like. Uh-huh.
Here, what I'm thinking is we're down one, and I'm basically just wanna play it safe at this moment because I think the tracer is coming back from Swan.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Mm.
That makes sense. However, your team is actively engaging, so you have to participate in that. You don't want to be open to every possible angle, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to be kind of just be too well, too aggressive. Let's put it this way. Yeah, your angles are being active at this point of time, especially the Rhine. So this is where you see this is how we understand. You want to be aggressive or not? I guess just look if the most of your team is being active at this point of time. Well, Tracy is coming back, but this is still might allow you to make an aggressive play. Just depends on the space where you guys fight. So let's say
Mm.
like here, for example, some of you guys can definitely fight for this point here. So let's say you take brief, so it's what 3v4. You can do that. This is okay. Yeah, but it's maybe not okay if there are 5 people. If you're 4v5, it's not okay. But now you see what I mean. Yeah, it's if it is maybe 4v4 or 3v4, it can work. This is out for a short period of time, but it might be in soon. But it's always more dynamic. You see, it's just one. You want to see the amount of resources you're facing against, I guess. And the main thing is still anyway, if this guy's playing active, we lean towards more active play. If not, then it's just more safe play. It's where just like you have to sneak a little bit of value. What do you think about here? So you look
I
into
mean, here my Rhine is going in, and I'm trying to save him, and I'm like,
right.
I remember when I died, I'm like, fuck him. Like next time, just don't die for him.
Right. So what do you do with your position here? What should you be doing? What do you think? So you have enough opportunity to stop lap pressure while being safe. What do you think?
Yeah, but here, yeah, I don't know why my mind doesn't realize there's a section on the right.
Right.
For me, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go down to be able to duel with the Genji on the right, like
Sure.
help my Genji 1v1.
Yeah, possible.
Because from here I can't see him.
Yeah,
and
true.
the second thing is get closer to the Rhine to do a nade, right? To be able to get a nade in. Because from here the enemy is all out of scope, out of sight. There's only one, the Queen, and yeah, that's the way I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking like my sight is not good enough here.
Yeah, sure. I agree. Okay, so you wanna, but what you mentioned there, you wanna support this, you wanna support this, right?
Yeah, I actually want to be able to do both. But on
Both.
the
Yeah,
right, I'm not able to do anything, and my Rhine is playing
exactly,
like a retard. So
exactly. So you can you support those two things simultaneously? Let's put it this way. Yeah, can you do that? Yeah, it's just to
yeah,
me.
no, I can't. But I feel like I can do either from here, because actually you'll also see it. The Rhine actually charges into the left afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. It's just well. Let's put it this way. You want to position in the best way possible to support those angles. Okay. But sometimes on the map you have to choose who is being more active, what angle needs more help. Let's put it this way. Now, what angle needs more help at this point of time? What do you think? This on the right or this one to the left?
Well, to be honest, the Rhine needs like 5 supports to help him.
Right.
Frankly, the one
Exactly.
that I should be spending more time on is probably the Genji,
Mm,
because I can get a kill on the right. On the left, I could throw in even a nano, he'll die, right?
well,
It's a bit.
it depends. It's just all about the resource trade. See, they might, for example, if we saw the nano, if we maybe just do any general support towards the Ryan here, he might die. But what depends, what matters is if you win in the next in the fight. And how do you understand if you win is by understanding what angle is doing the more pressure at this point of time. So what angle is that?
In terms of more attention, the
Yeah,
Rhine is
more
getting more
attention.
attention. Yeah,
Exactly. This is
the
what you
Rhine is
this is what
getting.
you need. Just simplify it. Yeah. See where there's more attention. Support this angle first, and then support the second angle. Well, you can do both on some maps, obviously, with your position, but doing this. See, because of this map, the map layout is just not allowing you to do both. See, if the Rhine goes left, the Genji goes right. It's not. It's gonna be hard. Yeah. Well, anyway, the Genji is also it's Dinyara who should be supporting him because again, flanker is gonna be behind the wall. You're not really seeing them. So yeah, the attention is also should be going here for the most part in the first place. So it's just how you do it with your position. So right at the start, instead of doing this, your instant reaction should be try to maintain your position while supporting this angle, maintain your range and stay safe. So yeah, you mentioned, well, maybe kind of forget about the side section, but let's put it this way. Your first instinct, it shouldn't be close the gap with something. Yeah, instead of kind of trying to go forward or go back, it's always should be how do I move from left or right, depending on the situation, because you're long range character as Ana. Let's put it this way, yeah. So you just always able to do the most effective support because from here you're able to not only maybe to just shoot this Rhine, but also maybe get a better nade. For example, you see all these people here, yeah? What if you nade right there in the middle, your Rhine is naded, and maybe you get a kill as well. Well, your Rhine will die, don't get me wrong, probably, but at least you get better cooldown trade, right?
Yeah.
So see, this is what I mean. Try to move left or right, stay in the better spot, because so that was great position to actually do the nade, but now you limited yourself. This short sideline, you're not able to do the nade anymore. From here, you would be able to. Yeah, it's just there
Okay.
have been people. What do you do later? Well, yeah, just something to keep in mind about the position. Then, don't try to catch two rabbits. Just catch one as well. You know, you use your position. You're also saying, "Oh, I want to support this and that." That's why it might complicate things, because you're opening up to this angle and you're not. You can't do it anymore. You can't put your attention there because your attention is here. That's what exactly kills you, right? So deal with one angle at a time.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna phrase it this way: when you're dealing with one angle at a time, it's how you use cover. It's one. Second is move left and right. Yeah, depending on the situation, instead of going forward backwards. It's what most helpful on the long range characters. Whenever doesn't matter. Maybe you play Widowmaker. Maybe you play on the something like Soldier. I give that advice to a lot of Soldier players. Actually, there's a tendency. A lot of players kind of tend to just close the gap for some reason, or maybe go back when there is a lot of pressure, where you could be just opening up left or opening up right. Okay, does all of it make sense so far?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It does.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. This map is also difficult in terms of layout. I think at least this point here, so it's
Yeah.
understandable. You have to kind of sneak a little
I
bit of
I
while
I
you're
feel
there.
very uncomfortable on this map. I mean, a bit more on the other points on this map, but on this, yeah, especially here, that whole rotunda here thing.
Exactly.
I don't know when I'm supposed to actually go and flank or where I'm supposed to stay here. I think it's probably like that's a question. Maybe
You'd
like
have enough time.
if they were dive comp like Winston or Diva, or probably more Winston, because Diva I'm kind of okay. I just wait for her to stop
Yeah.
matrixing. But like here, Winston, would I play in the rotunda or would I play just outside? Because if I actually go to the front where the door frame is, right, where you told me to go
Yeah.
right, here it's very diveable, right? It's super diveable. If I'm the Winston, you can jump directly here. Would
Sure.
you recommend stepping even further back? Like how do I?
I'm always recommending first. Your priority is on seeing what you can do with your proactivity, so they're not able to dive you. So what that should be? What do you think? If you're here, they have Winston, they have Genji, they have Tracer. What is the best proactive thing you can do to prevent them diving you? Usually, what do you think?
I don't know what you mean, like sleeping them or
Well, maybe. Well,
I'm playing close to my team.
oh, that might work. Well, usually, yeah. Well, you don't want to be too isolated whenever you're facing against the dive, but maybe also thinking about just general amount of pressure. Yeah, let's say even this Echo when she was in the angle. Yeah, let's say I'm opening up here, I'm applying pressure to this Echo, then she's forced to use some of her mobility or maybe hide around the cover, and then what forces her to not dive you as easily. That is kind of your first step. Okay, first step is how do I apply pressure on divers so they're not able to dive me, and second is how do I keep the distance so stay out of the dive range. So your probably first part will be I open here, I do some pressure. Once they get closer, I move back while also seeing them and applying pressure. I think that's how you do it. But it shouldn't be the first. Play never should be how do I have enough safety? Let's put it this way. It should be where do I put myself so I kind of able to disable something from them. You maybe force something so it makes it harder for them to get to you. It's always how you play. If you see any pro player, for example, playing versus the dive, and there's some sort of long range composition versus the dive, it's always about how hard you poke the enemy dive before they dive you on how before they get on top of you.
Okay.
It's just because they're not able to do that effectively because you force their HP, because you force their cooldowns. It makes it harder for them to like exist. Once they dive, you obviously you have the something like sleep dart. You have other cooldowns here, maybe something like other TPS or maybe other supports. What can they have? It's just their escapes. Maybe it's just their like Ash, for example, can coach gun. Widowmaker can grapple away. Here you just mostly have sleep dart and nade to, I guess,
Mm.
support you. Sleep dart is the biggest one. But before, apply pressure and then move back if it's needed. Yeah, they're not running dive, so you just kind of
No, here we're
you
poking. I
should be
mean, here
good.
in proc phase, I'm waiting for my Rhine anyway,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of why I threw it.
Oh yeah. No. I was not. Yeah, I was not talking about the NATO. Just like I was saying in general. Yeah, you
Mm.
when you play against the dive, yeah, how do you do that? Here it's understandable.
When I play against dive, I keep my cooldowns, right?
Well, yeah, yes, yes and no. It's kind of your nade is more offensive tool. So if there's an option, if your team kind of actively collapses on something on
Yeah,
their
yeah.
divers, then you can nade the enemy. You can nade the
No,
dive
I
early.
agree. I mean, what I mean is,
Oh, here.
I tend to, I tend to play a bit more secure with my cooldowns when I'm playing against dive because
I get it.
unless we're pushing aggressively, I'm just gonna keep them as a safety for
Yeah,
me.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's fine. So you just you wanna see if there's an opportunity for aggressive play, but at the same time there's no opportunity, then you have the backup option with those cooldowns. Yeah, that's alright. So see, like right there, they went on you really hard. Not sure why they did that. You just prevented that push with your cooldowns. It's fine. It was good. Oh well, actually they had the point, so maybe
Yeah.
could make sense there. Okay.
Here I'm spamming group up with me, and the Rhine goes. But yeah, I
Happens.
didn't know they would spawn from there, basically.
Yeah, that's okay. Can
Yeah.
reset. Okay.
I don't think there's anything to learn from this.
Well, what was your plan here?
My plan is to nano blade. I was spamming the Genji,
Right.
saying my nano boost is ready,
Right.
and I was just basically trying to get in. So
Right.
there was no real plan. They died before I could even get into place.
Well, if your plan is to nano the Genji, what do we wait for?
I'm waiting for his blade. He doesn't have blade, and I'm telling him that I
Right.
have it.
Right.
So I'm trying to wait for. We're trying to get into position, basically.
Right. Okay. Okay. So see, the does a Genji at this point of time doesn't need to blade first. Let's put it this way. Yeah. What if he never blades? Yeah, like let's say you guys get the perfect position, all of you guys. You know, of course it's maybe not a deal. Yeah, where with all those angles where you guys set. Yeah, maybe again your not everybody can be the most active, but if your win condition is nano blade, right? And we have the perfect position. What if this guy never blades? Then what?
No, I mean, look. I mean, right now we're not even in pre-poke phase. For me in my head. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I mean, here the way I read this is that my tracer is kind of going in a bit too early. We're trying to get in. I don't know how many people are in front of the Genji or are playing are just poking from distance. I have no clue.
Makes sense.
So I'm just trying to get in, and for me, we're just preparing for the fight. Yet, I mean, I think here the Zen is poking from out. I'm just trying to get a sense of where the enemy is. If the enemy was further forward, yeah, I would blade, right? But right now, I don't want to blade because I don't want nano because I don't know who's in front of my Genji.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's just an something to address, yeah, like the reasoning. If you don't know, then this is this is fine, I think. If you do, yeah, let's say somebody's calling this out, maybe a Genji player, maybe it's the Rhine, like these guys are here, then you can definitely start use the nano. It's just what I want to make sure is that we not necessarily waiting for the Genji to even do all this dash, kind of dash up or something, or start the blade, is that you be more proactive if there's an option to do so. If you don't
Where'd my
know,
nano?
yeah. If you don't know if there's an option, then I guess it's fine. Yeah, you kind
No,
of.
I'm not. I'm not waiting. But I'm basically like here. I'm not gonna nano him if I don't know who's in front.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that makes sense. This reason it makes sense.
they basically everybody died before we could even make it.
Yeah. It's just something if you can do it then with your communication potentially. Well, let's say you is at the high tier. I think you can do it slightly more. Maybe asking something like, "Tell me when you're ready for the blade," something like that. Basic communication could be useful, like this small percentage of
Yeah,
value.
I do that. Yeah, I do that.
Potentially, yeah, because there's a
I
perfect
completely agree.
opportunity right there. It's just
Yeah.
something what can help you, I guess. Communication, maybe it's asking the is this good, because it's always good to start early, do more proactive pressure than wait too long. But it's always understandable if you don't know. I guess you just
No,
try.
I don't know, and to be honest, I'm muted, so
Oh, okay,
so I can't
that's
even
fine.
talk to them.
That's fine. That's fine.
Even though I don't know how I'm muted because I'm really not that toxic.
Okay, that's alright. Well, the blade is alright. This is okay as well. I think this is good. Some early pressure. Nice. Can start moving back. Sure. Okay. Something to keep an eye on sometimes is something like here. Well, obviously it's maybe on the bigger level it might be like, well, you don't have to do this sort of thing. Yeah, like when they hide around the corner. But my question is, what do you think about your position? What would be the best position to kind of assist this flanking play? What do you think?
Uh,
Is there anything you can be doing? What do you think?
may, maybe a bit more to the well. I think this is the right amount of distance, but when I go back, maybe go back to the right to keep getting that.
Yeah.
No, not here.
Not here.
Honestly, not here. I would think more
So,
to
like,
here on
right
here
there.
exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, these guys have a Genji and Echo, right? I mean, they can bring down the distance like this, right? I feel like if I go play there on the right, I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'd get screwed.
Yeah, you don't want to be too isolated for sure. Yeah, it's kind of always the balance. Yeah, you first want to see how do you win. Yeah, what do you enable? Yeah, my problem with this now, I guess we too safe in a way that you're not able to support this most aggro play. It's kind of connected to our previous point, yeah. So you position slightly to the left, or where this most aggressive play is, but you could be moving to the right. Yeah, see, instead of like maybe closing the gap, moving backwards or forward.
That's what I meant by
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back to the right
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than going to the left.
Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of give general suggestions. Yeah, what you can do all the time. Yeah, what the pattern I see. Yeah, because now there's just too much distance. It's harder for you to maybe like enable display right at the start, and maybe find opportunities to just lend the nade potentially. Yeah, again, connects us to the nades as well. If we there, let's say, yeah, maybe there's an option like right here. There's a shatter. Nade this guy. He dies faster. Then it's just like right here, yeah. Or maybe you need this guy's there. Just slightly better. Open up slightly more pixels. Yeah, extra pixels always good.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it feels like. It's just maybe it's not about that you wait to save. I think it's just you need to find the right safe cover. You need to find
Mm.
right
The
safe
right
position.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just right in a way that yeah you open up the angle where your teammates are being the most active in the good way. Because the general thought process is fine. You just want to polish this a little bit more. It feels like. And you have to give up the point. That's fine. Like now you take the reasonable amount of distance. It's just about how do I open up the angle. Yeah, maybe move slightly to the left, maybe slightly to the right, depending on the situation here. I think you're good. Hmm. That's alright. See what's gonna happen next. Okay, so you guys are just rotating. Yeah, your Ryan is not waiting for you, right?
No, no, no. He gives zero
He
fucks.
just he just moves forward. Okay. Your position, right there. What is that wall you should be leaning towards? See that?
As you're talking about the pillar in front, or
Pillar in
or you're
front. Yeah, well, just your starting position. Yeah, you guys start applying pressure on this area, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what is that potential like? uh, Better position, slightly better position to open up the angle, so you're able to see a little bit more of the enemies here.
Beyond the archway.
Mhm. Well, depends. Yeah, depends on distance. Well, at least from here. Yeah, let's put it this way. You want to see this front choke. Then what is the best position if your team is coming from
Going
A
left,
and the enemy coming from B? Mm-hmm.
where the Genji is, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Playing left, is that it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's just slightly more of it. Yeah. So obviously, if this wall blocks the Rhine, of course you maybe will move to the right. But your first solution, thinking is always, how can I do this just in case, so I can shoot the enemy more. I can shoot this
Mm.
Junker Queen versus this where I cannot see. Yeah. So
Mm.
it's just slightly like
Right,
bits of those.
right.
Yeah. Same thing here. That's alright. Good sleep, nice. In the middle of the dash as well. That was perfect. Yeah. It should be game winning there for sure. Yeah, if you see the Junker Queen, if she commits behind the arch, beyond that arch in the back, then you can sit where you are. If not, then you move to the left, you open up the angle. Yeah, let's say here, when I apply pressure on this angle, maybe you play
Mm.
here, maybe you
Mm.
play. Well, you can potentially. I don't think you can flank as much. Again, they have some divers here, but
Yeah, they have the Genji that keeps wanting to get in the back line.
Hey, your Genji's going in. Now they play dive. Well, kind of. Well, there's Winston. At least this might be some sort of danger for you. Okay. Now it's just a lot of your pressure is gonna be in the poke phase and just kind of
Yeah.
between well before the brawl as well. How can you force something so it's gonna be hard for them to close the gap with you? I guess. You see, like this
I'm
pressure
I'm
is good.
basically I'm basically trying to shoot, but my Ryan keeps wanting
Yeah.
to drop the shield,
Well,
and
it
I'm hitting
happens.
him. Like,
That happens. But the intentions, that what matters. See, your position was good. Your intention is fine with the shooting. I think that was alright. There's no
yeah,
problem.
but now I'm like this is a bit too risky to stay in there.
Mm.
Now I moved
Yeah,
back, but
definitely.
yeah.
Okay. So you move back. Well, hmm. If your team is position here, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Like
because like look if
this
I
rock is way too
tell
far.
me if I'm wrong, right? You're saying I should go this way instead of going back towards the point?
I mean, it depends. It's just to me, it's because these guys are coming from A,
Mm.
and you want to be able first leaning towards how do you apply enough pressure on them so they will not get to you. You want to find the best position while being safe as well. Here, there's just some sort of like concern. You'll see that, yeah. Those guys are rotating through and they're not getting any pressure done.
But
And
okay, so just a question here.
uh-huh.
Because this is something that I've experimented with and it didn't go so well.
Mm.
Um, so see, if I go towards the point where I'm at,
Mhm.
what's going to happen next is the enemy is going to push in, and I still have line of sight of my team all the way because they're going to go back towards the point most likely, right? Well, not in this case because the Rhine actually makes something cool, but
Yeah.
otherwise, if I go towards the bottom, right,
Yeah.
the problem that I have is
Mhm.
once my team starts to go back, I then lose line of sight and I have to
Mm.
reposition.
Mm.
And during this time,
Sure.
because I'm playing with a Zen, they'll die.
Of course. Okay. Okay, that makes
Am I?
sense to me. Yeah. Uh-huh.
If I was with a Moira or BAP, I think I would probably think a bit differently. I don't know if I would still have done the bottom thing, but I would try to get more off angles than if I'm playing with a Zen who
Yeah.
doesn't heal,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Who
Yeah.
has a
Okay.
limited capacity to heal.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
I-
Okay.
Is that right, or it's the wrong way to think
Okay.
about it?
I will say this. The way you want to think, and that's what we mentioned about before, is where the most aggressive play is happening in the map, and be sure to position in a way so you enable this play most of the time. Let's put it this way. So in the way, if you know that if you go here, the most aggressive play, if you go on the bottom, the most aggressive play is happening around the point, it doesn't make sense why you go A, yeah, why you go on the bottom, because you lose the line of sight, as you mentioned, yeah? You lose this being able to support this yellow spot currently. But on the other hand, if you know the most aggressive play is gonna happen around, let's call it this red, then it makes sense why you stay in the bottom, right? It's just really depends on what your plan is ultimately. Well, in competitive, it's really hard, yeah, because you're not exactly sometimes communicating all of this. Well, let's do this or let's do that, but at least looking at your own resources, I think, can be big helper. And it's just the question is, can you stay at A long enough so you can play for the nano and set up the nano in the red space?
Mm,
Yeah, what do you
mm,
think?
mm.
It's just
Uh,
because the A to me is that you're able to apply a decent amount of pressure at the red while supporting your team as well if you're able to do this proactive plan, right? See what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is, I guess, how you have to think, yeah. So probably you have the nano. Well, maybe your teammates also communicating. I'm gonna do something with my shadow, and this Ryan totally did. By the way, he did. He just all this time we could have the sidelines there, but he's just really why we would do that is because we know where the fight is going to take place most of the time. Well, maybe if this shadow will not succeed or your nano will not do anything for some reason, let's imagine the swine jumps off the map, well, but at least you did set up the best way play possible in the space
Mm,
where
mm,
you expect the fight to be most of the time, like 80% of the time would be probably here, and then moving to yellow, where you don't need to lose, where you don't need to put as much attention on your team, yeah. But if
okay.
it's other way around, yeah, if it's on the
Yeah.
yellow, 80% of the of the time,
I mean, typically it's yellow
yeah,
in
typically,
Masters and Diamond, but
typically, but look at your own resources. This is what you want first. Yeah,
mm,
it's the
mm,
question I want to ask. See, if you have nano, am I able to fight here? Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you probably do because you're really close to nano. So set up here. If not, you don't have nano, I guess then you do this probably. You go here and play around the point because this is where you expect the fight to be. Maybe you later, I don't know, where do you move? You move maybe to here or to this side, depending on where your team is and the enemy is. But it's just
okay,
constantly keeping this idea in mind. Yeah, I'm doing early
okay,
pressure. These guys are not getting closer, and I'm setting up my aggressive play at the same time. Position accordingly. Position is really dynamic, to be honest. I think possibly those bits of pressure before would
Okay,
prevent you dying from the Genji. Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Well, can you go back just a little bit, please? Because
Oh,
here,
yeah.
this is one case of yeah. If you play it, yeah.
So, like, here? Yeah?
What,
Any questions?
yeah. uh, what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
What could I do?
as I mentioned, it's about what you do before. So, like, here, okay? Like, why we talked about all of this, why pressure is important, because this guys is gonna be harder for them to get on top of you. Again,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
see...
but like,
Uh-huh.
given what I tried, like I tried with the Rhine. I'm not looking for you telling me, Alfred, you tried everything. No, that's not what I mean. But
Uh-huh.
like, what would you have done instead of what I did? Because I went to try to do that, and I had a Rhine
Oh,
who
you
kept.
mean if you're still here? Well, I don't think there's anything else to do. Well, you just it was about your, I guess, previous decision on the positioning. You having enough distance while keeping line of sight, so you apply more pressure. Like, let's say in this case, by the way, you could keep an eye on something like,
So,
because they have...
sorry. Could you just play it for just a second? Because I kind of forget what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here, my Rhine is gonna shatter. Okay,
Right.
fine. Good for him. Then what happens? Try to get an angle. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at this point, it's just to me, you're trying to support this pressure, but your position again was not the best to be at. Yeah, that would be like here would be better. Yeah, and that's where it would be harder for them to get on top of you, and you apply early pressure. That's it to me. Like here, I think you die inevitably. You're gonna die most of the time if you're here, because you know they have distance and they have full resources. It's just how, you know, even
Mm,
back on which one it worked. Like when you play it, kind of classic dive versus classic dive, just the mirror. People just been trading backlines. You know, support's
mm,
been dying all the time, and it's alright. It's just a matter of who is winning the resources war. That's it. So it's just, yeah, it's okay to die as well. Sometimes. In this case, well, could you be doing more? Yeah, sure. Could you be doing something else at this position? I don't think there's like too much difference, to be
mm,
honest. Like, based on all the experience I have, I guess, with the teams and everything. It's just, you have to force the resources early somehow. Yeah, like all of this is good. But if you're able to poke the divers, maybe force the Winston bubble, force the Genji dash, force the Genji deflect, make it harder for them to get on top of you. That's what matters. If they still do, then you get to sleep dart them, and you should be good. It's just
mm.
if you play around the cooldowns, you play around the bubble. But yeah, it's alright. Yeah, so see this, they dive on top you sleep dart, you did your job, maybe you die if he's gonna wake up, but you win the fight. You're
Mm.
still gonna... Okay, well, you did the combo, so that's good. Yeah, I just was thinking if the Genji's gonna shoot him too early, but he didn't, it's okay. Yeah, so you win it. Nice.
Yeah, but we kind of lose the map.
Hmm, let's
Uh,
see. Guys rotating through.
here,
So,
this is the second time this happens. The team goes forward,
yeah.
and they don't wait for me, and I'm trying to get the Rhine to come so that I can not go in alone.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's...
Pain, pain, pain.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, you can't do much besides just kind of hearing the enemy, having enough distance and cover. So let's say like, because you guys can still take a fight technically in the middle of rotation. If they wait too close, it's just again about you still gonna die, but can you bring some other
Yeah,
players with you?
yeah.
You
Get
know?
somebody with me.
Right, exactly. That's it. I think at this point, farm Yunano. Well, if they catch you this rotation, there was no time for you to maybe do any
Yeah,
any
yeah,
any other
yeah.
rotation. That's alright. Well, happens whatever. Give you distance here and try to get as many as possible, as much ult charge as possible. That's reasonable as well. There's just maybe couple, maybe 3 more shots you could sneak in. The nade.
Yeah.
That's it. Well,
Yeah.
still value because yeah, long-term game with resources with the nanos and everything, but was alright for the most part. There's not too much you can do. Okay. Let's see. How do you open up the angle here? Well, oh, the replay got stuck. Okay.
Interesting. Your FPS is still on. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Sometimes it does it. I just yeah. Sometimes it does it. Okay, there's early pressure on the soldier, and then we move to the left. Well, again, kind of short range. A lot of corners here. Difficult for you to exactly deal with everything. Just potentially choosing to start at this corner, maybe. I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, what is
Yeah.
based on? How do you make this decision? Well, I think what you did here was reasonable. Okay, if you know,
I mean, here what I wanted to do was play around this corner here, right? But then I realized there's a soldier on my right, so I'm like, okay,
right.
fuck, I can't stay here, so I'm going left.
Let's put it
I
this
see
way.
the,
So again, we use the same idea of I don't want to close the distance or go back, but kind of move left and right, so you're able to open up line of sight of the enemy. You're
but
able to see
where
them and
where is
see.
left and right here because I'm getting
Yeah.
flanked by a
What do you
soldier.
think? Yeah, that's I guess my question is, yeah, like what do you think at this point? Yeah, because I there might be multiple things. It's definitely gonna be tough if we play short range. That's what I think. If you get really close, yeah, close the gap, there's a big chance these guys get on top of you, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't realize that my Genji's going like engaging with the soldier.
Hmm.
If I realized that, I wouldn't have moved. Actually, I would have stayed
Stay here.
maybe a little bit more backwards. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Just to
think.
see if my Genji needs help.
Hmm.
My Ryan anyway is
Sure.
waiting, and we're down
Yeah.
one, so there's not much we can do.
Yeah, sure, sure. So,
Right,
so
but
maybe your decision process can be even done. Like, let's say you find a soldier here. Well, I want to find this kind of safe corner. Well, not safe, but kind of a corner which allows me to do pressure and stay safe by moving left and right. So instead of instantly, like as your instinct, yeah, I move to this wall. Well, let it be something like even doing this is slightly better, I think. Yeah.
mm,
So it's just
mm,
well, you kind of this point let's say you in the middle of here, yeah, that's when you start the decision. It's either I move to left or right room. So maybe I move to this room on the right by pressing D key or A key towards here. That is better decision, I think, by default, kind of. Yeah. So like you have more options what to do on the map,
mm.
and you also remain safe, I think. Yeah, that's good pattern. Like this is good pattern to notice. It's just there's kind of tendency with your gameplay. I think you kind of move forward a little bit too much, not backwards in your case. You just kind of use it as a yeah, as an example. Forward to backwards, kind of similar thing to me most of the time. But you have to move left and right, I guess, a little bit
Okay.
more. Oh, I see. We don't have as much time. Let me see.
No, we still have 5 minutes. The time flew by on that one.
Yeah, I'm seeing I have another student really soon. Well, maybe do you have any specific questions about all of this so far? Maybe do you want to look at any timestamp here?
Look at what? Sorry.
Any specific timestamp? And
No. We can stop it here and summarize maybe.
sure, yeah. That's good. That's good. I think this is pretty valuable. Like small bits of everything. Yeah. So what we got out of today?
The aggressive defensive mentality
Mm.
to basically at the beginning of a fight try to put pressure on the DPSs that are off angling or
Mm-hmm.
the tank that is off angling or
Mm-hmm.
trying to get into a position. Um, mm, get rid of that feeling of having to close the distance. That's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the right thing. Look a bit more right and left.
This is
Um,
good. This is good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
uh, I think those are the two main ones that I picked up on.
Mm-hmm. I also would say this: try to deal with one angle at a time. Just catch one rabbit at a time, you know. So you're
Yeah,
not.
don't try to save everyone. Don't try to save everyone. Just
Yeah.
pick your battles, kind of guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And here is just keeping an eye on, I guess, who is the most active. So I'm gonna phrase it this way: deal with one angle at a time. Most active angle first. Your attention should be there. Uh, yeah, cover. I think you're using it. It's just the quality, as we mentioned. Open up slightly better spots. Mm, so this is gonna be helpful. So those kind of steps, then your gameplay, you get a setup. This is first step. Second is how you pressure. You you don't have problems, like big problems with this. I think it's just again polishing. Yeah, polishing all the small things here. To me, it feels like, yeah, and that what would allow you to maybe do those nades, do those sleep darts. A big thing about the dive team, just playing versus the dive. You can keep that in mind, how you able to do pressure before the fight starts. So I'm gonna maybe put in notes just in case as well. Versus dive, apply early pressure before the dive you. It's really important. So you force something out of them. You force the deflect. You force the dash again. You force the jump. Even that bubble from the Winston. I think you just something what is valuable. If these guys are not able to close the gap, then this is good. And another note is uh set up accordingly to where you're about to apply pressure. Like and this depends on like your and your teammates ultimates. Yeah, if you know what is going to be used, for example, like your nano, you can take advantage of that in a certain space, set up accordingly to do that exact play in the space, yeah, where you nano in. Yeah, don't try to like I guess play to play for default. Yeah, like think where the real pressure starts and position there accordingly.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Uh-huh.
mm.
So, then adjust just position depending on ults. Okay. Do you have any final questions?
No, no, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, then as usual, I'm gonna send the summary and you also get the recording. I started uploading everything on that second channel. Actually, I'm gonna move all the 100 swords from Metafight to the second channel. So if you want, you can check those swords out as well. And I think I'm gonna upload yours as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay.